Hello and welcome back to Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video, and off camera I have gone ahead, as I said I would, and made a few changes to this particular station. So I've gone ahead and cleared up some of the gaps that were appearing, for example with some of these assets walls. I've sorted out the bridge under the road, or sorry, the tunnel under the station properly, where you can, is that vehicle going to go straight? Yes, one of my little omnibuses is going straight under that, through that tunnel under the station. I've gone ahead and reworked the roofing for this particular station, and I've done a few little bits and bobs up and down this particular line. Now in today's video, as the title suggests, I'm going to be finalising this main line, and that means that there are a few changes that I still want to do in Barnstable, mainly to do with the bridges, mainly behind me actually. Some speed limit changes need to be put in. Some detailing needs to be put in with the speed limits. In the area around Attleborough, I need to look at tracking certain things. Also, for some reason, this is a little bit laggy today. I have absolutely no idea what is going on, but this is on a second restart of the game, and it appears to be a bit jittery for some bizarre reason. Just try to ignore it, I guess. Attleborough, I need to sort out some 4-tracks, and probably a few more signals need to be put in. So all of that is going to happen in today's video, as well as getting the lines set up, which I've already done. I've already set the lines. I just need to start looking at what platforms they go into and what sort of trains I want to run in them. So make sure you stay tuned and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I've decided I want to do is get rid of part of this bridge. And the reason for that is because, and I'll just have to pause this, is because I've realised that I can have a road going just across here, and have a few freight buildings or goods buildings just pop in this area. And I think that is going to look quite good. So that is what I want to do. I also know how to fix this now, should I wish to do so, and I'll show you how you do it. So you go to which building? It's one of these. Set it as off, set as 0, and set the terrain alignment as on. Set these as a number. And there you go. Suddenly you have that option. So I can, for example, do 2 and have that lined up as I want, like so. But I just have to be careful, as you can see, that it does not go over to the other side. So you have to just be aware of what sizes you are actually using to make this happen. So I might be able to clean some, if not all of this up in some time, in a little bit of time. There you go. So for example, that slot, look at that. I can clean that up so very nicely all the way up to these edges. I'm not going to do that just yet, but that is how I managed to do some of this and fix these bits up. That is how I've gone ahead and done it. So now, as I said, I am going to change some of this. So I need to brake. Now I need to also figure out where I'm going to do this from. I think it is a good idea to do it from, oh dear, from here. No, not there. There. Yes, please. Everything is very slow today, and I have no idea why. I know. Does that push back? Yes, it does. Okay. So, now that I have that, I can click this and turn that into an embankment, which is good. And then I'm going to pick let's pick the 100 mile per hour track for now. I'm not sure it was 100 miles per hour, but it will be fine. No, there we go. Do that, that, and that. And that actually sits in very, very nicely. I can always do the end part of the bridge as well, which is something I want to do here, but I'm concerned that if I break this, it's going to break everything. This was not the easiest thing to put together. So I am slightly concerned about that, which is why I'm not going to touch it. The other thing I need to do is stop certain size buildings popping up underneath the bridge. At the moment, it seems okay, so I'm going to leave it, but I'm going to keep an eye on that because I have noticed that every now and then some weird building pops up. This bit is also being a little bit awkward for me, but I'll look at that off camera. I'm not really fussed about that bit. And in all honesty, I'm probably going to look at connecting that road all the way down, potentially from this bridge. But this bit is now done the way I want it to be. So what I'm now going to do is use the terrain tools and use the smooth tool here, just on this area, and see if I can get this to sort of sit up a little bit better. In fact, before I do that, why don't I use the flatten tool? Not that large. There we go. I can use the flatten tool in this area. Oops. I'll use the smooth tool back there. Use that. And then use the smooth tool to really help sell this gentle embankment. There we go. You sort of still see where it goes. Bring that strength right down. I think that looks okay. And then use the smooth tool in this area, right the way up here, just to create this section. And then I'm actually going to try and get this road to work its way up, as well as this road to work its way across. So just a small road does that. Oops. Sure, that doesn't look too shabby. Does that like that. You connect. Oh dear. Why did you start so low? That's the other issue. Oh, I know why. Let's go ahead and fix that first. There we are. Okay, now let's try. That is better. There, and there. And then from there, just go. I guess we could have it just run straight along here. I said run straight along here. There we go. I probably wanted to do something along the lines of this, though, and see if I can get it to there. That is what I wanted. That is now connected in a much, much more pleasant fashion, should I say. Yes. Smaller bridge, smaller viaduct, much more pleasant fashion. This is still a bit much, but there's not much I can do about that. Again, I'll fix that bit off camera. And now we have to go ahead and get this section done. So, I currently have, and let's do some sort of measurement of this. About 700 yards is what I've got. Let's go ahead and push that to nearly 1,000 yards. In fact, we'll push it up to here. That seems like a really good idea. Up to the signals. And over here, of course, we cannot hit the full speed, but that's not an issue. That will give me 100. There we are. And potentially on the opposite side, do the exact same thing. Try and get the 100 there. It doesn't. It wants it to be out there. So you know what? I will see that and make that work. Now, as to why I want this all to be 100 all the way, I am going to obviously slow the trains down, but that bit doesn't quite matter as much yet. Okay, and then we have the freight slip. Now, this is something I need to also consider. How long is this before I can make the slip? I can get the 200. I can get a 250-yard train in here, so that is good. What I want to do is have a much slower approach into this, where a freight train will wait, but then I need to move those. That is something that I need to consider. So this approach this bit needs to change. Not by a massive amount, but it does need to change. So let's go ahead and fix that all up. So we'll push it back up to there. That seems like a logical place to push it back up to. Then what I'm going to do is connect this up all the way here. Speeds are going to have to drop to about 80. That's fine. Maybe I'll turn all of this into an 80. In fact, if I turn it to 80 from here, that would be all right. Let's do that. 80, it makes this a little bit tighter as well. And that could be really useful. So let's get the opposite side is the side that's can be the problem. So we'll go, there's 80. Do the same here. Okay. 80 and 80. Excellent. Now, what am I going to do with this? Well, at the moment, of course, the speed limits is going to be a little bit confused. That's not an issue just yet. Okay, no, that will be an issue. Let's bring that down to 30 and let's just figure a couple of things out. So I've got a single track that goes in like this. That is going to come in from two others. So what we need to do is I need to connect this there. I need to connect this there. That's not ideal, is it? Where do I connect this from? It should be from before it starts bending. There we go. That spot. Okay. So, train comes in on this one and it will go... Well, one of the other things I can do is actually push this slightly further back. So I'll have... In fact, what am I doing? Why am I making this complicated? Just do this. Right, we have that. That can go across there. that can go across there. And so a train will... Okay, no, wait. What if a train wants to go that way? There we go, that's the 3. That's your option of 3. And coming back across, you get to... If you're there, you'll go across here. If you... Yep, job done. Nothing too difficult there. I was just making it difficult for myself. All you have to do is go... All you have to do... Try... No, or... Okay. What? There. All you have to do is that. So if you are there, you are coming straight across there. If you're there, you're coming straight across there. And if you're there, you're going straight across to there. That seems simple enough. Okay, now all I've got to do is connect this up to the main line. So, the way I'm going to do it is have it swing in like that. But the speed at which I need this to swing in is going to be a little bit more complicated. We'll try and work out the speeds at a later time. And this should also be able to accelerate out, should it need to. And that is also, I'm hoping, long enough. Or it isn't. Okay, so there is a few issues I need to work on. I can slow all of this down. Why not? Why not do that? Let's slow all of this down first. So we'll go... I know I've just run that at 30, but it's fine. 25. And as tight as that goes, which is there, like so, and then realistically I could have this one go like so. I can have this one go like so. As soon as it hits the 25, there. Okay. What's the room on this side? Probably not a lot anyway, but it doesn't matter because that one will be okay. This one I'm slightly concerned about. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to do this in a better fashion as soon as I possibly can. Right, let's go ahead and put a signal up here, just in case, and we'll put a signal just here, which might actually spell disaster, but I will figure that out. Okay, so now we've got that bit. That is now up to the 4-track. Let's go ahead and actually slow the tracks down to the correct speed. We'll come back for signalling a little later. So everything inbound from here is going to be 80. There we are. I'm sure that has to be even slower than 80, if I'm being honest. 60. Oh, I've left these as 75 as well. Oh, that's going to be an issue. That's going to be a really big issue. That's another off-camera thing I need to do. Let's turn this back to 60 for this section. So as soon as you get to the bridge, it is 60. Oh no, maybe even 50. As soon as you get to the bridge, it's 50. I'm just looking at these speeds here. There we go. So 50, so bridge is 50, 80 on the exit, 100 beyond this. Yep, 100 beyond that. In the opposite direction, it is 100 pretty much the entire way in, and that's fine. For some reason, we've got a 50 there. These are the bits that I need to now start changing. So we'll go for 100. Yep, all of these speeds are now going to increase. So 100 all the way. Now this is where things might get interesting. Maybe it shouldn't be 100 the entire way because of this 50 mile per hour bend. Train could be coming up behind us 100 miles an hour, which would be interesting. So I need to take that into consideration too. Right, that can all go up to 100. I think 100 might be possible through all of this, right? Cool. That is going to change. That is already at 100. And the speeds through this are going to be immense. Imagine running trains at 100 miles an hour through all of this. And I think as we get to the tunnel, that is where I'm going to slow it all down for the approach to Attleborough. So you are not coming barreling into Attleborough at 100 miles an hour. Okay, so that is that section now done. Let me go ahead and connect it up. So I've gone ahead and connected this bit all the way up to there. Now I just have to figure out this section here. I'm going to start off by, of course, getting rid of some of these assets. No, you're not you. There we go. Because unfortunately, this is just what I have to now do. So we're going to start removing assets all the way along the rail. Oh, it's not being kind, is it? There we go. Through the pine forest, including some of the pine trees. We're going to leave the random stone. And now there is an interesting thing that needs to happen, because on this side we have the 100 and the 2-track, but this side, the 2-track goes over there. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. I think the best way for me to do this is to build this in, build it like this. Okay, well, no, apparently not. I think to build it up to there, then to destroy this section, like so, rebuild this bit like that. Good. Then reconnect this bit on this side. Probably go back to this, delete some more of these all the way up to the old, what we'll say is the old junction. There we go. Might even try to get rid of that one little bit. No, you have to be very careful. There it is. Get rid of that. Track from there to there. Job done. That has now opened that section up. Good. We can now continue on our merry way and just connect this section up. Perfect. And what I'm going to do is, I think it's probably a good idea to start adding some of these. So wherever I have to open a section up, I've already done it here because this all used to be single track. So every time I open a section up, I add some signals to the section I've opened. This looks fine all the way. Here's a new section I'm opening up, so I'll put a signal there and add that. No, come on. There we go. Add that in there. That's opened that up the entire way. And then, as I said, I think I want to turn this into 4-track. Although, that being said, it may be unnecessary right now to switch this to 4-track. So I'm going to potentially leave it just for now in the essence of trying to get this done. And I've got all the platforms I believe I need. I should be able to run everything into what I need to run it into. I guess the other one, this platform here, should just have one there. Okay, good. I've also realised that I don't think I set up a... Yes, I didn't set up a freight route here. So I need to look at that to try and get more being built. I mean, they are starting to build into this area, but to have more being built in this area, I do need to get some freight up and running. Okay. That is all promising. What was the speed limit through this? 40. I think 40 is probably okay. Maybe we should up it to 50. Now let's leave it at 40, and I'll figure out what to do with that a little bit later. So, now that I have all of this, it is going to be awkward at the start because commuter services and express services are all going to be just running onto 2 lines. But there is no other station in between. So I'm expecting them to be at similar-ish speeds. And if I limit this all to 100, I can make sure that, yes, they all do at least 100 miles an hour. And then, of course, by the time they get to this is where it will all of it will open up. So there we go. That is that section now complete. I am going to change this and put signals here. I'm going to put a signal here. This one could be interesting. Actually, can I have it at the station? I could put a signal right here and here. That could be interesting. That might work. I've already done this on the opposite side. So there we go. And I have done some improvements. I could probably smooth this out looking at this. Let's try it. Or not. No interest? Oh, that was level, that's why. There we go. We'll start with the smooth. So start with the level, then go to the smooth tool. See if it does anything. It's certainly trying. There we go. Any luck? It looks a bit better. I guess I can use some ballast to paint it. That will make it look a little bit more Or the right word be presentable, perhaps. There we go. Okay, that's a touch better. That palm tree does not exist. There we go. Right, continuing through this, I think all the signals are correctly set. That all seems fine. I think we need to start changing some of these. Just as a reminder for speeds, it is 100 miles per hour. And a reminder there as well, that is 100 miles per hour. I'll have to go about, maybe the speed signs can be an off-camera thing too. Okay, so all the way through here, this is 2-track at 100. I remember that. And that looks okay. Going into this section, this is where it gets quite busy. So I think this is going to have to change. This whole area might have to end up becoming 4-track. But I will see how that runs. Then we go through here. There is nothing that's actually arguing. We've got a few splits which are... Oh no, wait, there is something arguing. What's this? Right, that's my new stopping service that appears to be going into the wrong platform. Okay, well, whilst I'm here, I might as well change it. That's not the right one. There we go. Do that. Yes, do that. That's a little bit... Is that cleaner? Yeah, I think that's much cleaner. Right. That will then follow in. So I've got all of this 4-tracked. Then it thins up here. Oh, I still haven't done the Litchfield connection properly. Well, we'll have to get that done. I'll do that towards the end of today's video. This is all 2-track. Who are you? What do you want? Okay, you are all freight, so that's fine. Passenger traffic does that. It's a bit of a weird one here, but that's the Litchfield problem. So I'll fix that problem. Then we go back to 2-track here, which is going to be another potential issue. So we'll try and up the speeds in this whole area too. Right, return journey for whatever this one is. You. So I've got a stopping service and a semi-fast service going on at the moment. So there isn't a direct express service. You are probably going to... Yeah, this is where things change. On the return journey, New Romney, take platform 1, will you? There we go. Keeps it nice and tidy all the way through for... Oh, that's a stopping service. Ooh. In that case, what I'm going to do is do that and remove that. There we go. That's better. And then going in here, I think we should probably just add signals there and there. Exit. We want some signals on this too. Oh, this is of course quite far away. Not an issue. I need to change those speeds, which I shall. There and there. Good. Right over the top, we've got another signal there, and then we are okay. This is all new, so this should all be have all the right speeds and right signalling. This does, it sort of does have the right signalling. I think I need a little bit more. I do think I need some more signals here. Let's go ahead and get a signal in there and there. And exit signals are absolutely fine. Good. Okay. and that is probably the same thing that I want to do. No, this should be okay because this is much shorter. Goes back in, that is fine. This is all at about 100 miles an hour. That is fine. And then we've got the issue of the sheer amount of traffic we're going to have on this particular routing or this particular set of rails. I will figure that out as and when the time comes. This is the approach into Batley should be all right. I might want to extend this. I might have to extend Batley Station, but I might have to extend this full stop. So I'll look into that. And then the rest of it is just what it is. All the way through, how does it go through Stratford upon Avon? So I think the semi-fast service, well, I'll have to have a look at how to get the semi-fast service going through the right, because it doesn't stop here. So if I were to say you go past that, that's better. That's much better. Good. And then the stopping service, which is you, really need to, a lot of these need to get out of the way of, so coming back from Stratford, let's get these, try and get these out of the way. Whatever is possible, whatever I can get out of the way of the express services, I am going to. Now, Stratford Cole I could run straight through. But I think this one, whatever this one is, how do I get... Right, find which section it is. There it is. So, go past that. That's better. And the loop one is just going to power through. That is looking better. Good. And then from there, it just all blends back together. Off we go. There'll be a bit of a split. There's the split. I have a weird thing happening here with the new... Which line is it? That one. Right. What on earth is going on here? So you are expected to go from Shepton Mallet's New Romney to... No, other way. Here we go. Stratford upon Avon Cargo, there's the issue. It's not supposed to be going to the cargo stop, it's supposed to be going to Stratford upon Avon itself. Will that fix it? Tell you what, these platforms are going to be really busy. There is that. Sort of. It's got to be, potentially it's got something to do with Kingsbridge then. It must be to do with Kingsbridge. So we've got the stopping service here. Let's go Kingsbridge, platform 1, please. There we go. That's better. And that should have sorted it out all the way back here. Much better. Look at how nice that looks. It's just... well, somewhat. Okay, good. Then over here, everything is now double tracked and okay. And then coming into here, well, that's just a mess, isn't it? Got some weird, look at that ghosting. That's so strange. Let's rework this one to take platform 4 Now, let's rework this one to go past this for whatever platform it's taking. There we go. And then I'll work what's RR again? It's barely doing anything. What was RR? Oh, it's a rail replacement service. That's what that is. Let's pick but it isn't running anything anymore, so that's why that is there. What was the other one? That one. Let's see if I can get that to go into platform 4, shall we? No, sorry, platform 1. But then why does it go through this bit? Can I not make it? I'll do this. There we go. Right, can I not make you go past that, please? Okay. That might work a little bit better. Good. Some progress has been made. That is all of that. Right, speed check through the entire lot. Make sure I've got the right speeds. 25 through all of this, great. 50 and then 25, that's fine. The ghosting is really odd. We have a bit of a 60 section here, which is incorrect. So let's go ahead and fix that right now. Turn that into 50. And turn that into 50. Not that bit. 80, please. There. Okay. So there should be... Oh, there isn't a sign here. There are no signs. Let's put the signs up. Oh look, there's all the extra bits. I could make a whole load of things. 80, please. Oh, should I start making them yellow now? No, let's still leave them white, just for a little bit longer. And this is going to be 50 ahead, 25 to the, I don't know, not that, 25 to the left. There we go. That's working nicely. Whoever told me that I should really turn the backing of these black, thank you. It does look so much better when you do that. So that's 25 now over to the left. So that is that section done. Great. Let's now continue along here. 80 is good for the entire section here. We've got a little 70 section. Okay. Let's sort that out. Not too much. From there to there. Is there anything else beyond this that goes really strange with the speed? There's this section. So maybe it's a good idea to turn this all to 70. There we go. That's 70. Then we go back up to 80. Never mind that 73. I'm going to fix that. And then we're back into 80 there. Okay. So let's go ahead and put some more of these signs down. So it's high 70. I am really considering just making these yellow now, because we're entering that era. I think the era is still 15 years off, but although I am going to fast forward a couple of years. But I think, now let's leave it white just for this set. Once this is over, so once I've finished this final route, everything beyond here should be, I think everything beyond here should be yellow. This is going to be, right, let's put an 80 sign here. Let's put a 40 left here. That's 80 through there. Let's put a 40 left here, if we ever take that 40 left. And 80 not left. Max 80 there. 80 through the entire station. And then we go down to 60. And we have an 80 here. So I'll put the 80 signs here, which is probably a bad place to put them, but there we go. I'll put a 60 here. It's really strange. Whatever's going on here is really, really strange with the ghosting. I've never seen anything like this before. That's looking okay. Try to add as many signs as possible. 30 to the left. Good. And 60 here. Not to the left, just 60. There is another 60 sign there, although that 60 sign I think is on the wrong... No, actually it's probably on the right side because things will potentially cross over. 30 to the right, there's the 60 there, so that is fine. Autosave telling me we are almost out of time. 56, I'll probably fix this, so I'm going to leave that as it is. And I do remember putting the 100 in here. There it is. So the 100 is there. That is absolutely fine all the way through. For some reason it just sits at 99. I'm not going to question it. Probably need a 100. Oh no, it's already there. I've already done that one. 99. I'm going to fix this 40, whatever this is. But we do have a change to 80. Is that in? I think I just saw something. Yes, there is an 80 and a 100 sign there. So I've done all of that. Good. Turns out I actually have done some things. 100 all the way there. I think I did the 50 sign here as well. I did. 100 through this. This looks like I might need to put some more, another set of signals in. So I'm going to do that now. Because this is going to be a lot busier. So because it's going to be very busy, I think another set of signals will help. 100 through all of this, good. Some weird 99s, but it's fine. 100 through that. We've got the 25 for the crossings. Interesting, I've missed the 100 sign here. So we'll pop that in. And then we have 80. Why did I do this as 80? Could I not get this up to 100? Let's try. Was that the issue? 98. 82. Yep, that was the issue. So, what I'm going to do is... Why don't we try and do 80 there. potentially bring this back up to 100 here. No, it's probably best to leave it at 80 through this section. And then we've got 60, 80. Yeah, I think that should be all right. 80, 80. I think I've got the 60 markers right. I have, and the 80 markers. I've got the... That doesn't matter, that's still 80. This one could be interesting, because there is a... Not that one. I doubt I'm ever going to use the differential signs. 60 across there. 80 here. Not there. 8, no, there. Why is this 80 then 60? What have I done here? Okay, well, that doesn't matter. That's a different route. I need to... I'll be working that route out at a later time. Here we go. Another change of speed. We've got 80 here. And 100 here. 100 blasting through all of this. That's fine. Into a 50 and a 40. This is where... Okay, this is where things will get a bit odd. So I think I may need to try and slow this down through the tunnel. I think that is what I'm going to have to try and do. So I'm going to slow this down to 60. Then we'll have the 50 and... Yeah, so let's do that. Let's slow down to 60 from the tunnel to this, or whatever this little bit is there. Good. And then we have the markings, so it's going to be, let's see, 60. Then we have 50, but we also have 40 left. Good. And then we'll put 60 here as well. 60 and 100. Good. That's that done. And then all of this goes down to 30. Maybe I should just make this all 40. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Let's go down, straight down to 40 to 30. So 30, 30, 40, 50. 30 through the station. 30 through all of this. I think I need to do this on the opposite side too. They've got a weird one here. Goes to 80, but that's a really long... That is a really long tunnel, so I'm going to have to... I'll figure something out there. I'm not going to put the speed signs in there. You cannot see them. They are merely aesthetic. We've got the 80 the entire way through. Then we've got this weird couple of 50s. Which really means these outside ones should be 50 as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go 50 to the left. And we'll have 80 right there. Speed change 50 into platforms. That doesn't matter if it's 80, it's not going to be a problem. And then it appears that this is 70. So I'm going to... Ooh, should I make that 70 straight away then? No, I'll leave that as what it is. And then these ones just need to be changed. So 40 becomes... No, I am going to do that as 70. Let's do it. Let's do what I was going to do. 70, 70, 70, 70. Good. So, change that to 70. Change that one to 70. That one... Oh, that one's probably going to be deleted. Change this one to 80. Change this one to 80. And then those two are probably going to be deleted. So let's go ahead and delete them now. Just keeps things, just clears things up. There we go. Good. We've got a crossing here that is 40. So I'm going to mark that in. So to the right, 40. And similarly, if we're going across to the right, 40. If we're going across to the left, that is going to be, well, I guess it's also 40. Now, why would we be going over to the left? Nothing should be on this side. So that doesn't really matter. Even this one, nothing, it should be that one people are doing, not that. So things will go over that way, and then we have the marking again for 70. Oops, that one's incorrect. I could have just reconfigured it, but it's fine. 70 and 70. Good. That is now done. Then we have it going up to 80. So we'll do that. 80 and 70. We have another marker for 80 here. We'll have a marker to the right for a 40 for the freight. That is all sorted at 80 through this entire section. We've got an odd 40 chunk here. That needs to be changed. Done. 80 through all of this, 80 through all of this, and then we have this mess. So, how much time do I have? Let's make this episode run a few minutes longer than I was intending to. And let's just go ahead and fix this. There should be no trains in the area. No, there are no trains in the area. Okay, good. So I can just demolish and fix all of this. I was trying to do this the neat way, but it appears that that's not going to happen. So I'm going to push this back up to there. And the way I originally wanted it, so we're going to, let's try and get rid of some of this confusion as well. So that goes there, that goes there, get rid of that, get rid of that. And that is now going to join up. So these ones are going to join up slightly differently. The way I originally wanted it was that I would have some trains, this wouldn't be an up, up, down, down. This would actually be an up, down, up, down. And I think given the nature of this, I might still have to do that. So in order to make this an up, down, first I need to get the right up, down. So let's connect up the first up, down. Let's do this. This is going to be the express route, I guess. If things are not stopping here, they will be going past this. So let's just go for... We'll sort out the speeds in a minute. But let's try to connect first one up to there. Next one up to there. Which is not... It's not exactly the nicest angle. It's about 60 miles per hour here. And the next one connects up to that. Then, what I want to do is I would like to connect this one. Oh, there's a little thing there. I'd like to connect this one somehow up to that. This one up to that. And then what I need is I need this to not do what it just did. See, now we're going to get bridge pillar collisions because it's going to be really low. What I need is that to connect up to that. That needs to do that. That needs to do that. Then from there, the next bit, and this is going to be part of the issue, it's going to be I need to have this. Let's try and get some speed out of this one. I need that to connect like that up to that. It's not exactly very pretty. What do you mean construction not possible? Why does it keep doing that? What is here that's preventing construction? Okay, there has to be something here. There we go. Not exactly the prettiest. That's for sure. But it does sort of do the trick. Don't know why that has happened, but it's, you know, it's fine. I have actually no idea why that's happened. I'm sure I can fix some of that. How will I fix that? I'll click this section like that and click that section like that and do a ramp equalizer without checking the limits, and well, now it's lower for some reason. Oh, I know what's happened. I know what it is. So I'm going to connect it like this. What I need to do is I need to press C, or is it Shift, so that when it does the connection, it doesn't try to... Oh, it's still going to do it, isn't it? I have to effectively... There we go. That is what I have to do first, and then that. That's it. And then I can select, for example, that one and that one. Turn it around. There we go. Do that and smooth it all out. Okay, good. So that is now there in its really weird. It's really weird, really wonky at the moment. But what we have is the ability to get trains through this section. I don't particularly think it's very nice. Could I make that go more in that direction and then have this? Okay. Another idea I've just had. Will it? No, it won't, because I just do not have the room. Even though I've pushed this along, that room is not there. Okay, so this is what we've got. This is what we're just going to have to deal with Lichfield until I can figure out a better option for this. Now let's work on the speeds and the signalling. So the weird thing about this one is that the freight appears to be... No, the freight is actually going to be going in the opposite direction, so I'm going to put a signal right here. That is where the freight is going to go. There we are. And you disappear as a signal. I'm going to put another signal right here. That seems... Oh, I've put it on the wrong one, haven't I? Right here. It seems long enough. Right, let's try and get that. Now the freight appears to be running in the right direction. Good. That should ease up some of the issues. Speed check. So 80 up to here, then we've got a 40. Then we've got a bit of a mess, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow this entire section here down to 60. So let's go ahead and do that. 60 mile per hour. Nope. That's it. In fact, I must have pre-planned this because these ones are already set to 60. Oh, that's 52. I'm going to have to figure that out too. So many things to work out. 60 from there. Yeah, let's do that. That whole section becomes 60. And in all honesty, the freight doesn't really matter for speed right now. I'll figure that out when I need to. Here we go. Not that. 60. 80. Good. That should handle that bit. In fact, you know what? I might just turn all the freight to 40. Just maybe that's the smarter idea. Until I can come up with better speeds for all of this, maybe 40 is the right option for that whole thing. In fact, it looks like that was what I was doing. And now, to figure this bit out. Again, maybe I should just do a 60 mile an hour approach now into Lichfield. Since the other side of it has to be 60, I might as well make this 60 the whole way. So 60 there, obviously across that. So in this, for those of you watching, you can clearly see just how much work has to go in to making this work in the fashion that I'm trying to make it work in. It can be really, really tedious and takes a lot of effort and planning, unfortunately. There we go. And then that goes back to, I'll tell you what, no, that's right. We'll do 40 into 60, and then we've got a 40 here. Wondering if that will actually hold 60. It does. So that can be 62. 60, not 62. Why is that 60? Should that not be 80? I think that should be 80. If I can somehow get it to go to 80. No, that's 2. Let's try 80, please. There we are. Right, that's set to 80. And I think it's probably a smart idea for me to set this all to 80 then as well. Why has that just gone to 76? That was all at 100. I had 100 on these. What's just happened? Oh dear. Right, well that's another thing for me to figure out. This is 60. Why is this 60? Can I not do 80 around here? I'm assuming I cannot do 80 around here. I cannot do 80 around here. That is why that is 60. So from there to there and the middle, let's go ahead and put some of those marks up. 80, 60, 60, 80, messy. I'll figure that out. Maybe I'll just turn this whole thing to, you know what? It's smarter to turn it all to 60 from here. 60, all lines. 80 there, and I'll replace that speed. We will go 40 to the left, 60 right here, and then I do not need to mark that as 60 at all. That I'm going to figure something out, and I've already put the 60 and 80 marks there. Good. Right, let's go ahead and change this to 60. Done. That should be... No, why did it change that a little bit there? Now, please have that at 80. Thank you. And that should be that. Oh, there's 75 there, but that's a mistake by me. That's 80. Oh, 70. Got 70 here. 70 there and there. Back up to 80. Oh, the 80 mark. Oh, have I already put the 70 mark in? Have I now got two 70 marks? No? I have the 80. Oh no, I haven't got the 80. I was just looking at the shadow of it. That was weird. 60. Got a bunch of 60s and 70s. There we go. And then 60s and 80s. 60, 60, 80, 80. Continue along. That is all 80. 80. Right. That's wrong. So that probably needs to be 80 up to where? I guess that section there. 80, that is 70. Is that 70 on all of those? Yes. So it's 70, 80 and 70. Good. So we'll go 70, 80, 70. This bit definitely is going to need work. 35 across. That one needs to become 80. Maybe I should keep this all slowed down. I don't know. 70, and then we've got 70 and 100. That's 100 the entire way through, up to here where it becomes 80. So we'll put 100, 80, all lines. 30 if you're going across. 30 right. 80 there. 80 to 50. 50, 50, 80, 80. This has been going on for 1 hour, over an hour and a quarter, I think. And this is just 100 the entire way through. From here on in, it's just go. Flat out. And really, this is going to be not 75. This is supposed to be 50. So I'm going to mark it as though I am going to have this as 50. There we go. Oh, and I guess I should have the crossing one as well. How low can I have that it will still show? It still shows. Cool. Same thing here. This one's actually hanging off the edge. Oh well. I'm going to have to figure out what to do there. And that's 100 the entire way through. Nothing to worry about through any of this. There's probably an errant sign. No, that's correct. Oh, I can also move this 50 in, I think. Let's see how close I... No, not there. Now I have 3 of them. I think there is fine. Good. Check the speeds again. Oops. 100. Is there any markings here? Nope. 100. 100 through all of that. This is fairly fast. I'm not even worrying about the other bits because we're not going to be using them. But this is high speed running the entire way. Oh, and then we've got the 40, which I'm not... I think I'll put that down to... Put it down to 60, not 40. We'll go 60 through the tunnel. And then we'll have... Then on the other side of the tunnel, it's whatever it needs to be. So we've got the 40s, and what have you. So we'll go... Oh, we've got the ghosting again. 60 and 40 with the weird... Right, and I'm going to have to look at this myself and figure out what I did, because that looks really, really silly. 60 and 100. Probably need that slightly further out so that you can see it. And I think I'm going to say that is ready to go. That is definitely going to be ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, where will I? Yes, this is what I'm going to have to do. This is going to be a bit odd, but I'm going to actually get them out of this depot here. I will then manually release them, send one up here, turn them around, turn them into that, so on and so forth. But to finish this video, I'm going to talk about what train we are going to run here. So, I did say I was going to forward everything. Let's take it to the date this is going to be released, which is going to be the 25th of November. And let's go up to 1917, shall we? In fact, no, let's go all the way to 1918. Let's find out what we've got. We've got a bunch of some Great Western stuff, some tank engines. They could be nice. There's quite a few. A few Great Western ones, CNR, Clan Goods, or sorry, HR. We have a lot of things. Oh, actually, that wasn't so much. That's a shame. Well, I'm going to have to look at what potential we have. But what I'm going to do is say, let's pick one of these eras and it'll give me an idea of what we have available to us. So we've got these that could do about 90 miles per hour. And I think that's a good option. We could even look at electric multiple units. Who wants to, we can do it with third rail. Have our very first electric third rail. Now I'm never really a fan of electric trains as such, except in certain circumstances. For example, London Underground. Let's see what options we have available to us. So these are not fast enough. I want faster ones. I think we should be looking at these. I could run those, all three of them, at 80 miles per hour, combined with a couple of others, and I think that could do a pretty good job. So the plan is, I'm just going to buy one of these, just so I have an idea as to what I want to run. So then we're going to do possibly that. I think that should be one of the trains. At 202 yards. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In fact, I can even potentially go 10. That's one option I've got. Or I could go for the Pullmans. Now the Pullmans could look really good. I might even go for those. Right, that is something I need to know. Let me know in the comments box below what I should take. Should I take the Pullmans or should I take the top light coaches? Because the Pullmans, I assume, I'm just going to be going that. I can only assume that this is how it's supposed to work. Like that and that. That is my assumption. 250 yards, carry 126 passengers. I think these ones carry more, don't they? Yes, they do. Still, that is looking like an option. So I need to know whether that is what I'm going to do. Some suggestions, please. And for now, I'm going to look at ending this video. So I just need to get some... Well, I'm going to have to find a thumbnail. And realistically, this is still a good spot for a thumbnail. But I'll find a better spot, I guess. I mean, in all honesty, I could maybe wait for something to come along here. Where are the nearest trains? Probably very, very far away. And they are. Great. Wait for something. Maybe look at taking a picture like so. There we go. It just gives an idea of how complex some of this rail network is becoming. So that does look different to what it used to, because now we've expanded that bit. So yes, that is where I'm going to end. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Tron Sports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Any suggestions you might have. If you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. Link is in the description box below, as are links to my social media and Discord server. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Tron Sports Fever 2, the UK modded series, and I hear a train coming.